8 o'clock in Banjul. This is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Karaba Avenue. And I am Julden Jai. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Gambia-China relations are witnessing another important development following an agreement for China to dispatch another batch of medical professionals to government hospitals in the Gambia. Now, as part of the ongoing CityLink Austin-Banjul Greening Project for Sustainable Development, BCC and partners held their annual tree planting exercise at the Banjul Beach on Saturday. Now, the Fertility and Maternal Health Foundation was launched on Friday to raise awareness of the ectopic pregnancies and maternal mortality in the Gambia. Now, we visited the Jahali Pachal rice fields in the Central River region to speak to rice farmers about rice cultivation. In international news, Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, arrested and disqualified from politics for corrupt practices. Those were your headlines, and now the news in detail. Hello, if you're just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Julden Jai. Now, Gambia-China relations are witnessing another important development for the health sector. China is committed to dispatching medical teams and to support and improve healthcare across the Gambia. The agreement will see the annual dispatch of teams of Chinese medical professionals to government hospitals in the Gambia. Momodou Lamin Choi has the latest.
Quality care is an essential need. As our government strives to bring this to its citizens, it has reached out to one of its most strategic development partners, the People's Republic of China. Through its embassy in Banjul, the Chinese government has put this commitment into action. Lui Jin is the Chinese ambassador to the Gambia.
This week, I think it's an important day for us to strengthen our cooperation in the field of medical and public health, because today I have the honor to sign the protocol between the two governments on China dispatching medical team to work in the Gambia for another 5 years, from 2023 to 2027, of course with the Honorable Minister. I think the signing of this important document reflects the friendly relations between our two peoples and the fruitful cooperation in the field of medical and public health.
China-Gambia cooperation has a long history, with the first batch of Chinese medical doctors arriving in the Gambia in October 1977. And until 1995, China had sent more than 200 medical personnel to the Gambia. Following the resumption of diplomatic ties between the two countries in March 2016, China's humanitarian support to the Gambia's health sector has steadily progressed. The newest Chinese medical team to the Gambia being the 6th since 2017.
The cooperation in the field of medical and public health area is one of the priority of our comprehensive bilateral relations. The Chinese side will strengthen this kind of exchange and cooperations in the coming years, in particular through the work of medical team. There's no doubt that all the efforts we made jointly by our two sides will be conducive for the building of the global community of health for us all. And I think that it will send a good example for all the other developing countries' cooperation.
The Chinese medical team sent to the Gambia comprised 10 medical and health professionals, each of whom specialize in critical and much-needed medical services, namely orthopedics, general surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, pediatrics, critical care medicine, radiology, acupuncture and massage, internal medicine, and anesthesiology. The Gambia's hospitals lack specialists in these fields. Wang Yong is the head of the 6th Chinese medical team to the Gambia.
We will provide necessary medical aid to some emergencies. And we will also go to the eastern region to do outreach and provide the medical help to the people in that area. So we will share our experiences, and so we will teach students here so that more people can get more experience and knowledge so that people here can operate themselves.
These Chinese medical professionals sent to the Gambia are highly skilled and experienced in their areas of specialization. Their service in public hospitals in the Gambia are already recording historic developments. For example, at the end of 2022, in collaboration with the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, the 5th Chinese medical team successfully saved the life of a patient by conducting the first pacemaker implantation in the Gambia, a historic occurrence in heart disease treatment in the country. Mahmoud Lamin, QTV News.
That's a great initiative there. Now, as part of the ongoing CityLink Austin Banjul Greening Project for Sustainable Development, Banjul City Council and partners Saturday held its annual tree planting exercise at the Banjul Beach to beautify the city and promote environmental sustainability to combat climate change. And Sumana Isonyasi reports.
Launched in 2020, this annual tree planting exercise forms part of Council's drive to protect the beach and the inner city from erosion and other natural disasters, while also contributing to the beautification of the city. Already, over 3,000 trees, including coconut and other varieties of trees, have been planted across several places in the city and along the beach. Annette Camara, communications officer of the CityLink project, says this exercise, dubbed Planting Trees to Save Banjul, has massively transformed the city and calls on residents to take ownership by protecting the trees.
The only focus we have is to beat the heat in Banjul, and the only focus we have is that Gambians realize that global warming is a reality. Gambians realize that climate change is a reality and the crisis is not kidding. It's here and we have to start the fight now, and this is why we plead, urge and ask every Banjulian and Gambian to take part in this initiative.
Aziz Dabakh Gay, Deputy Mayor of Banjul City Council, and Mbuguma Ismaila Jeng, Field Supervisor of the tree planting component, also called for residents to support the project to ensure its sustainability.
We believe that apart from just beautifying the landscape, tree planting at the beach, the coconut trees that are being planted today and had been planted, and some of them have already grown to maturity, is important for safety and to serve as a guard as well. So we're very excited to be here today as authorities.
The trees planted at the beach, it will help us mitigate the sea level rise. That's one thing. It beautifies the beach. That's another thing. I mean, we'll get a more fresher air to breathe. So the list goes on.
With an average elevation of only 34 meters above sea level, Gambia is one of the lowest lying countries in the world, and the capital, Banjul, is listed as being at sea level and remains prone to natural disasters such as flooding, which the city experiences each year, last year being the worst in recent years. Hence, the importance of this tree planting to our capital city. Ansmane Sonyasi for QTV News.
The Fertility and Maternal Health Foundation was launched on Friday to raise awareness of ectopic pregnancies and maternal mortality in the Gambia. Lena E. Igwenyiba attended the launch, and this is her report.
Ectopic pregnancy, a condition where a fertilized egg grows outside the uterus, is the leading cause of maternal mortality during the first trimester. The growth of the egg in the fallopian tube can lead to rupture and internal bleeding, posing a significant danger to pregnant women. Marin Day, founder of the Fertility and Maternal Health Foundation and a survivor of ectopic pregnancy, aims to raise awareness about this life-threatening condition and promote maternal health in the country.
I was told I had ectopic pregnancy. So from there I said if I could have ectopic pregnancy, another woman could have ectopic pregnancy. I said if I wake up from this bed, I will make sure I advocate for women who don't know about this ectopic pregnancy.
Dr. Matthew Anyawu, a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, spoke about the alarming mortality rate in the Gambia and emphasized the urgency of addressing the issue.
Over 87% of Gambians visit the hospital in pregnancy at least once. Even in the early pregnancy, what we have now that people go to hospital in the first 3 months is about 43% of Gambians. When they're pregnant, they attend to hospital. But what do we do with with the 43% that attend within the 3 months, yes, they have done the pregnancy test, it's positive, and that ends it. No. Where is the pregnancy? Is it in a good position or not? An ultrasound is needed.
Dr. Keba Gassama, a gynecologist at the Westfield Clinic, stressed the importance of early detection and timely treatment to reduce the fertility rate of ectopic pregnancies.
Okay, so many things can lead to you testing, and then the urine, what we call the urine HCG, which give you an idea about pregnancy. So many things can cause it to be positive without pregnancy. So you going further to actually do an ultrasound scan will help the person to know whether this pregnancy is actually confirmed is a pregnancy, whether it is viable, and which location it is. So in this setting, many women will sit for so long, and then you realize that they've been pregnant for 7 months, but they have never visited the hospital at all. That is their first visit.
Maria McCall, a survivor of ectopic pregnancy and a mother of 2, called for improved and effective health facilities to cater to the needs of women. Her personal experience underscores the necessity of supporting patients and providing adequate maternal health care services.
You know Gambia law, when you go to the hospitals, my sisters can testify to that. We went there to join antenatal. They said we should wait until 4 months. 4 months we should wait before you go and join antenatal. They have to change that rules. They have to change it. Because our doctors say here, we should report early to the hospitals. But when you go there, they will tell you, go and wait.
By empowering women and girls with knowledge about ectopic pregnancies and maternal mortality, the foundation seeks to have a positive impact on women's health. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
And that report there by Lena Igwenyiba will take us to a short commercial break. When we return, we have some more local as well as international news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
No more leakage, cracks, or a broken roof. Batimat's got you covered. With its wide range of waterproofing products, from roofing systems, fling-cut, and sealants, from the most trusted and reliable international brands, all to make your life easier. Batimat, your trusted partner.
Batimat, welcome home.
The National Roads Authority, the implementing agency for the Barting-Harding Highway Widening Project, in collaboration with the Ministry of Works, the contractors, Areski, the consultant, South Consult, Gamtech GV, OIC Gambia, and partners, seek the support of the public in the implementation of the project as Phase 1 nears completion. Drivers are strongly advised to exercise caution, adhere to speed limits, and respect traffic diversions. Pedestrians and vendors are urged to maintain a safe distance from the road. The authority reminds the public that the right-of-way remains at 40 meters from the road, center line on both sides. Property owners are therefore urged to respect reserved allocation and refrain from encroachment. The understanding and cooperation of the public are highly solicited. This announcement is brought to you by the National Roads Authority.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, rice is one of Gambia's staple foods and is widely grown in the swamplands of the Central River region. Our regional correspondent, Bakari Balde, visited the Jahali Pachal rice fields where he spoke to rice farmers as they start the new harvesting season and others preparing for a new season.
Jahali Pachal Smallholder Rice Project started in 1982 with an estimate of 1,474 hectares to address the country's food security by the government of the Gambia. There was an expansion of the fields due to a huge demand, and women are predominantly the main rice growers in this area. Satu Jany, a prominent rice farmer, said she has been into rice cultivation for more than 3 decades. This is what she had to say.
We are facing so many challenges here. Before, we used the locally built basic farming tools, but people cannot use those tools effectively anymore. People use tractors and there is no tractors. The tractors that are available are not in good shape. We cannot work on our rice fields since the dry season.
Omar Malo, a rice farmer and teacher, outlines that animal invasion, late arrival of fertilizers, and insufficient farming machineries are among the challenges they encounter every year.
It's the combine harvester that they brought in. It is fine, it is good, but what they are charging us is very expensive. After all expenses you do on the farm, they may charge you around 8 to 9 bucks, okay, a plot. So that is expensive. If that is expensive, so if the government can provide more combine harvester, whereby they can help the farmers.
Almame Jata, another rice farmer and teacher, suggests the government should empower the youth to venture into rice cultivation as it is the only way to fight hunger and be self-reliant. He explained how he manages to combine two jobs.
When I close from school at 1 p.m., I don't even waste time. I come straight to my farm. I don't mind about the fact that everyone is relaxing at home and brewing attire sometimes. I don't even take my lunch until late in the evening.
The constraints to sustainable rice production include drought, lack of adequate farming equipment, and poor drainage systems. Here is Bintu Kamara, a rice farmer from Jaweli.
We are not satisfied with this year's rice fields. We did the nursery early, but did not get the tractors early. It was a waste of time. Also, when we planted, everything got destroyed by the birds. The tractors are on a first-come, first-served basis, and when you approach them, they will promise you and they will not materialize.
In this area, rice cultivation is a year-round activity thanks to its irrigation system. To many, if this land is properly managed, it could feed the whole nation, create employment, raise income, and end the importation of rice. Bahri Balde, QTV News.
Now, many young people need help and guidance when it comes to job seeking. GamJobs, which runs a jobs and careers website in partnership with the MDS Students Union and partners through the Returnees Coaching and Job Placement Pilot Project, organized a career and jobs fair on Friday for over 50 young people. Lolly M. Kamara attended, and this is her report.
The fair gives these young people the opportunity to network with employers, get free career orientation and support to write good CVs. Lamin Silla, a representative of GamJobs, explains the need for such an event.
In 2021, directly after the COVID-19, we did what we call a tracer study, just to understand what are some of the reasons that are surrounding, especially unemployment for youths within the country. Then we get to understand that most people don't understand how do they actually prepare their CVs, how do they actually prepare for an interview. So these are some of the things that I call pre as part of your job search quest, because it's the first thing that you really need to understand. How do you prepare for your CV? So once you prepare for your CV, then the rest of the process could follow. For instance, it would be funny to know that employees would take only 60 seconds to review your CV, nothing more than that. Because if you have a bulk of CVs that you have to review, of course you cannot spend 5 minutes on one CV. That would be a lot of time that you do not have.
Mr. Silla says more than 50 youths are attending this career development scheme, and some of what they will be taken through includes CV writing, how to prepare for interviews, and how to communicate interpersonally when selected for a job. He encouraged the students to use these skills and learn, stressing that some of these skills are not taught in class but can positively orient their thinking. Fatumata Jawara, one of the participants, says she is grateful for the opportunity to take part and share her experience of the training.
I am very fortunate to be part of those people who really participated in the CV writing and in the career development. I am very happy, and I'm thanking God for that opportunity. I am encouraging everyone to be part and parcel of this career development.
Career fair events are useful as they give general information on how to write a CV and prepare for an assessment center. Also, they are a great place to do research as companies at careers fairs provide lots of information and experience about different sectors. Usainu Jawara is the president of the MDI Students' Union.
Looking at it, they're bringing employers to come here, leaving all the way their offices to come to MDI and network with students to see if there will be job opportunities for our students. So this is like one achievement for the students here. They don't have to go outside to be seeking for jobs. Instead, employers will be the very ones that will come here within the campus of MDI to give them the jobs that they want. And also looking at the CVs, the trainings that they're doing on CV, letter writings and job interview techniques, it's one thing that I am so passionate about.
Kausu Jata, a migrant returnee, shared his backway journey experience, recounting how he struggled to make it to Europe. GamJobs, an online job-seeking platform, is helping to boost the capacities of young people to make them fully ready for the job market. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Wonderful initiative there. Well, the report by Lolly M. Kamara will take us to international news stories. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, arrested and disqualified from politics for corrupt practices involving the sale of state gifts. Jennifer Sonko tells us more.
Imran Khan, former Pakistan's Prime Minister, was picked up by police from his home in Lahore on Saturday after he was found guilty illegally selling gifts from heads of state worth hundreds of millions of rupees. The former cricketer turned politician, 70, was elected in 2018 but was ousted in a no-confidence vote last year after falling out with Pakistan's powerful military. The gifts are reported to be worth more than 140 million Pakistani rupees, which is $635,000 US and 500,000 euro, including Rolex watches and a ring and a pair of cufflinks. As the court decision was announced, a crowd, which included some prosecuting lawyers, began chanting, "Imran Khan is a thief," outside the building. Mr. Khan will be sent to Adjala Jail, a central prison in the city of Rawalpindi, south of Islamabad. For months, he had avoided arrest, with his supporters at times fighting pitched battles with police to pick him out of custody. Thousands, including some of the party's most senior members, have been arrested, and many have been pressured or tortured into leaving PTI. Khan has alleged that the military is behind the attempts to dismantle his party to prevent him from running in the next election. Mr. Khan said the army in Pakistan was petrified of elections which his party would win hands down, and for that reason they are dismantling a democracy. Pakistan's army plays a prominent role in politics, sometimes seizing power in military coups and on other occasions pulling levers behind the scenes. Khan's arrest put him among the ranks of several past prime ministers who have found themselves behind bars after attempting to go up against the almost untouchable power of Pakistan's military. Globally, he joins the ranks of former US President Donald Trump and Senegalese opposition leader Ousmane Sonko to allege his legal problems are politically motivated. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we got time for, but before we end, here is a recap of the headlines. Gambia-China relations are witnessing another important development following an agreement for China to dispatch Chinese medical professionals to government hospitals in the Gambia. As part of the ongoing CityLink Austin-Banjul Greening Project for Sustainable Development, BCC and partners held their annual tree planting exercise at the Banjul Beach on Saturday. Now, the Fertility and Maternal Health Foundation was launched on Friday to raise awareness of ectopic pregnancies and maternal mortality in the Gambia. We visited the Yahali Pachal rice fields in the Central River region and spoke to rice farmers about rice cultivation. In international news, Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, arrested and disqualified from politics for corrupt practices. This is all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us tomorrow for the Weekend Review with Ade Drame and Momodou Lamin Choi. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company, and do have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.